Hey, it's so good to see you even though I can't see you. It's another beautiful day in the neighborhood, and I'm so excited that you're here at Story Time with Kelvin. And today, it's going to be interesting because we're going to go on a journey of my career in sports and how some of that really impacted my life. And really, what does that do to me in the future? So you ready to go on this journey with me? Let's do this. Alright. So if you're new to this channel, you're not familiar to me. I am deafblind. And I live with Usher syndrome type 2. And today we're going to be talking about my sports journey. So my sports journey is really interesting. Because it really... When I was like 5, I played t-ball and I had a blast. I remember there's a picture of me wearing an orange Takelodi t-ball uniform and had a black hat on. My mom, she had it somewhere in the house, and it reminds me how innocent, and I was only hardly hearing at this point. And I was a decent athlete. I was pretty good at a lot of sports. I could do a lot, and I remember I really didn't know anything different in the sports world because the only thing I knew is putting helmets on always kind of messed up my hearing aids. But I was able to kind of work through that. My parents, shortly after I was 5, I started playing a little bit of soccer, and I liked that. I played indoor soccer. And then tried some basketball, and everything seemed fine. Like I was good at it, and life seemed normal. And if you haven't watched last week's video will kind of give you a general overview of my story of me becoming deafblind. But for today's video, we're just focusing on my sports. See, I played soccer, football, basketball, and baseball. Those are my main sports, and I swam. I know. Can you imagine me in a Speedo today? I don't want to hurt you. I mean, it's already bad enough that I'm blind. Making you blind, that's probably not a good idea. Oh, man. Maybe one of these days I should show up on a Deafblind Potter video in a Speedo. And you'd be like, this has become a little X-rated. But let's get back on topic. So, by the time I was 10, or I would say, 10 years old, I started playing baseball and soccer. I was good in baseball, I was good in soccer, and so I went club in soccer, and I just made the alternate teams in baseball. And I love playing catcher. That was a position I loved playing a lot. As I was playing these sports, I'll never forget this one baseball game I was playing. And I was probably about 12 years old. And I'm playing first base, and the ball gets hit. One of my guys threw the ball at me, and I couldn't see the ball. And I realized, whew, that wasn't good. I was scared of getting hit by the ball. And that was the beginning of the process. This was 6th grade when all this stuff was starting to go down. And when I started realizing this, I was like, I'm not sure if I want to do baseball anymore. And I just started putting all my energy in the soccer. My vision kept getting worse, and honestly, we didn't know at this point in my life that I had any vision issues, besides me needing to wear glasses. But I won't forget, as I talked about in previous videos, the soccer game when the light went out. And if you want to hear that full story, you gotta check out last week's video where I screamed, "Dad, Dad, 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 Dad. I can't see, I can't see." See, this was the beginning, and I lost baseball. And then I started losing the ability to see at night when I was 13. See, I was in denial with all of this. So I didn't accept any of this stuff. So what was going to come out of this? We really didn't know. I didn't know. My parents just said, no, let's just keep letting you be seen, and you keep doing the seeing world thing. We'll just take it day by day. Whether that's right or wrong, I'm not going to have that conversation today. But God, He knew what He was doing. See, soccer started becoming a religion for me. I started playing so much soccer, practicing every day, and taking it to a level that I had ambition to go play playing the World Cup and try to make a Germany team. And back then, my favorite world team was Germany, not the U.S. They weren't that great back then. And God, when I was 16 years old, or I should say 15, He goes, I need you to focus on me. I need you to trust me too. And my vision had deteriorated to the point where I couldn't see very well up. I can still see pretty well down and left and right. But if you're a goalie in soccer, you got to be able to see up in your peripheral vision. And that wasn't something I could do very well. So by the time I was 16 years old, I went to play my last soccer game. I'll never forget that day. It was a tough day for me. It was my sophomore year of high school. And I wasn't sure how this was all going to turn out. I just knew the day that I knew I was going to tell my team, this is my last game, I knew that game, I lost the game for my team 3-1 because I couldn't see the ball. And it was devastating. It was devastating to see that because of my vision, I couldn't see well enough to be able to continue to play the game I love. And I was tired of making mistakes that I couldn't correct because I couldn't see. It was devastating. And thankfully, I got into other sports. I got into wrestling and other things like that. But I love soccer. I loved it so much. But like I said, it became my idol. It became something that wasn't necessarily what God had planned. He had a whole different plan for me. And that wasn't to play for the World Cup. What he had planned was something completely different. He had planned that I would become somebody completely different than somebody that would play soccer. He had planned that I would become somebody that would have to live with more challenges than most people in this world. And he had planned that I would take those pains, those difficulties, and use it for his glory. He had plans that as he trimmed away things that were difficult in my life, he knew what he was going to do. See, the Almighty Potter, he knows what he's doing in your life. The question is, are you willing to embrace what he's doing? Because truly, if we embrace what he has planned, man, it's amazing to see what he's going to do. Not easy. Not easy at all. What's amazing though, he gives us joy. See, in this season of losing my sports, so by the time I was 16, I gave up soccer, I gave up football, and I wrestled, and I swam, and by the time I was a senior in high school, I just gave up sports altogether because I was so devastated of losing another sport. It was painful. It wasn't easy. And it was truly something I had to work through as I got older. What is amazing though is God's plan, his timing. See, God started introducing his life, introducing himself in a whole new way to me. He started being able to shape me and mold me in ways that I never ever thought would be possible. He started making shapes out of me. He started shaping me in a way like, really? I can do that? Really? I don't have to live with my deaf blindness this way? I can overcome it this way? It was amazing to watch God do his work in my life. As some of you might know, and you have to watch previous other videos to know the rest of that story, it wasn't easy for me. I made some choices in my life that weren't all that easy. But God, he knew how he wanted me to be. And so he started shaping me just the right way, the right time, in the right place. So I want to encourage you today. Trust that the Almighty Potter has his hands on you. No matter how difficult the time is right now. Know that he's going to give you joy, perseverance, and character. And the peace is your hope. God, He has His hands ready for you to be shaped and molded. So embrace what He has planned for you today. Go live beyond your challenges, my friends, and I'll see you next week.